Okay, here we go with my first ever video response attempt. Don't know how it'll come off, I'll have a go. First off, can I congratulate you on your excellent tutorial. Indeed, I actually use many of the products you do, the Collection 2000, that sort of stuff, very much like you do on occasion. What I would like to add to this is two things really. One, for people like myself with very, very oily skin, and secondly, for people that are a bit more mature, like I am. So, where do I start? Well, going right to the very beginning, going back to the shaving. Once you've shaved, obviously, then, much of this makes common sense, but, some people don't know. Splash lots of cold water over, help close the pores up. Dab your face over with a towel to dry it. Dab, not rub. And then my next stage after that would be, see, I avoid moisturiser to some extent. I tend to use that after I take my makeup off, because, as I say, very, very oily skin get a lot of slipping, especially in the warm weather. This little baby costs £8 to £12. It's one of these. It's an early under the eye, gets rid of wrinkles, little job. Very expensive. It does last a while, you don't need a lot of it, but it's very expensive. However, the main ingredient of that tends to be this: distilled witch hazel. This costs about £3 and lasts us a long, long time. I use that a bit like an aftershave. There's not much of a fragrance, there's no fragrance. And that does two things. A, it closes my pores like an aftershave, but also the witch hazel tends to help smooth out wrinkles. As in this rather smaller, more expensive version. So witch hazel would be my my first tip. Give that a try. I am not. I have one over there, the transgender's best friend, a stick of Max Factor pan stick. I'm not a great lover of that. I don't like the greasiness of all that, especially with oily skin. It just seems like it never dries, no matter how much powder you put on it. So I personally am not a great fan of pan sticks. You may need them, depending on your complexion, and I'm sure many of you do. What I prefer is the Max Factor Miracle Touch. Now, this is very expensive and doesn't go very far or last long. It's a cream. It's a liquid to powder thingy. So when you put it on, it turns liquid and then dries, and the coverage is amazing. Amazing coverage. That is very expensive. Probably about £12, which doesn't sound expensive, but there is only a very, very tiny amount in there. Oh, doesn't last long. Open the wrong side up. However, if you go up to your town centre, check out the market stalls and the 50p shops, sometimes you can get lucky and find something like this. BC body, whatever. Unfortunately, the market stall that I got this off of, I bought up so many of them. I think he must have bought them as bankrupt stock or something. I could £3 for that, and it works just as good as the £12 one. It's a lovely thing. You've got this little liquid to powder, and I use this where you would normally use a pan stick, round there, under here, and maybe a little under the eyes. But if I'm actually going out, I won't use, this is the only foundation I use. It covers that well, but I don't want to use it all over my face for everyday use because I don't want it to run out. As I say, I can't seem to get any more, but I'm sure you could get something, cheap and equivalent. It works well with oily skin because it tends to dry out. And then I find that all I actually need over the top of that is just like a cheap Collection 2000 loose powder. Perfecting Minerals, just a light brush of that over the top. So I'm actually using I'm using no pan sticks. I'm being naughty and not even using the orange trick around the face. I'm simply putting on a little of this, and it is a little, and covering it with that. And that does everything. Incidentally, I'm not actually wearing that today. This is the cheaper Collection 2000 makeup, but this would be my going out combination. So I think that's it. That was basically one other little thing. I wouldn't recommend this for long-term use, but in the really hot weather, when it's really hot and sticky, and if you've got very oily skin, it's very difficult to get that makeup to stay on your nose and your forehead. A little trick: if you want to degrease, milk of magnesia, a little bit on some cotton wool, wipe it over. Wouldn't recommend it for long-term use because I think it would dry your skin out terribly. But as a primer to stop that foundation slipping in hot weather, it's amazing. Give it a try. But it's of more value to people with very oily skin. Okay, once again, thank you for your tutorial. Found it very informative, and I hope those few little tips might help some other people.